So I'm sitting down with Kerri today. Kerri and I met probably like 2 years ago through the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. So I'm really excited to just have a quick conversation with you, Kerri. So maybe to start, you can just let everybody know like a bit of an overview of who you are and what your business is.
Okay. My name is Kerri Jackson. I'm a financial coach, and I mainly help women who are single, recently single, just going through divorce, separation, help them shift their financial confidence and help them with financial education and getting more in control of their finances and their confidence around their finances and their money situation.
Amazing. Yeah. And it's such a needed service, I think, because I think when you go through a major life change like that, one of the things sometimes that you're left with is, I have no clue what to do with my money because
Yeah.
somebody else has been managing it for so long, or I've never
Yep.
taken a front seat role in needing to figure this out. So I love that you have kind of the method to empower them.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what were some of the challenges that you were facing when you started looking for a business or marketing coach? Like, can you elaborate on some of the specific pain points that you remember feeling before we started working together?
Yeah, I think I just felt really stuck. Like I felt like I was about a year into my business, I'd say, and I tried. I had kind of got started, and it felt just very much like a bit of a roller coaster. Like I'd get a little bit of momentum, and then it'd be quiet again, and then I just kind of felt like I didn't have the marketing and sales skills and strategy to really promote my business or to develop my business. So I was just feeling very stuck and like frustrated and not really knowing how to approach the whole marketing side of things of
Yeah,
my
that can
business.
be a very overwhelming. Like the two big buckets of marketing and sales. I think when
Yeah.
we think about those, it can feel like paralyzing because if you haven't worked in marketing or you've never been a sales rep per se, how are you supposed to know how
Yeah.
to get visible and how to get more eyes on your services? And then what to do when the eyeballs come on you or when people find you on social media, like how do you sell them your
Yeah.
$1,000 or $5,000 product or service? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think also one of the things I came to you or wanted to work with you was to learn other strategies rather than just social media as well, because there is a lot of marketing coaches out there that just specifically teach online marketing only. And what I liked about your program and your skill set is you teach other forms of marketing as well.
Mm-hmm. And so, aside from social media, thinking back to some of the other marketing efforts that we worked on and implemented, was there any one marketing effort that stood out as something that really worked for you and that you want to continue doing because it's not just focused on social media? Like, what in your marketing strategy felt good and felt like it was working?
Yeah, it was the more and what I still feel like is where I want to focus and work more on is building up kind of the referrals and the connections, the kind of the more personable networking.
Yeah.
I'm as a bit of an introvert, well, very much an introvert. Like a lot of the being really outward in kind of a bigger group setting felt uncomfortable, but we talked a lot about and focused more on working on one-on-one connections and just building up my network and to develop more of a referral business as well.
Yeah, and one thing that you also did really, really well was reaching out to other communities. Like, not
Hmm.
only did you do a training for our visionary community, which was extremely well received, but you also reached out to other communities of people. I know, there was a dietitian community and a couple
Yeah.
others that you were able to offer your skill set to. And it's one of those things where it's like you don't have to leave your house, you don't have to
Yeah.
blast your face all over social media. You can just show up in front of somebody else's assembled group, teach based on your skill set, and really like find a marketing strategy that feels good for you
Yeah.
versus a one size fits all, like it has to be grow on Instagram or else your
Right.
business will never grow.
Yeah, exactly.
What were some of the successes or wins that you had inside of our 4 months together?
Um, I think a lot of more clarity. Like when we started, I had a program, but it didn't really feel, I didn't feel excited about it. And one of the exercises that we did, and you taught me, was the post-it note exercise,
Mm-hmm.
and helping to get really clarify the process that my program covered and everything that was involved in that. So when I did that exercise, I got very clear on what the program structure should be, what I want to take my clients through. And then I was able to update my sales page on my website, and that felt a lot cleaner, um, more direct. And I was able to create a lot of the material I needed in order to um, run my program more efficiently.
Awesome.
Those are some of the big ones, yeah.
And now thinking back to your time inside of the visionary community, I'm curious what have been or what was kind of some of the more memorable components of the program? Like, was it the weekly calls, the co-working, the course materials, like what stands out to you as kind of one of the more memorable parts of being inside of this community?
I really enjoyed the group calls, like the weekly visionary calls, because the community that you've built is really they're really supportive, and they're really engaging and interactive. Like, so I've actually made kind of contacts through that group, and have had other conversations, and actually started a mastermind with a couple of the other women and stuff. So, and I took a lot from having those weekly calls and hearing other people's experiences and challenges and struggles as they're starting their businesses or developing their businesses. I thought that was really helpful to, to know you're not always alone doing some of this stuff or some of the struggles. I really like that group component that was added on to the private coaching that we were doing as well.
Mm-hmm. And if anyone is kind of watching this video on the fence about joining the visionary method, is there anything that you would want them to know or anything that you would share beyond what you've already shared today?
Um, just thought it is a very good investment. For There's so much knowledge that you provide, both in the online training, and then even more so with the group coaching. So it is an all-encompassing program that I think really helps expand knowledge, really. So,
Mm-hmm.
if anyone's on the fence about investing in themselves, like in order to develop their business,
Mm-hmm.
this is a very good investment to to spend their money on and
Pay
invest
her to
in
say that.
themselves. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you kind of sharing openly and honestly about your time inside of the Visionary Method. And I know we value you as a community member so much, and the way that you've interacted with the other members and contributing your brilliance to our community. So thank you for showing up, and we look forward to continuing to have you around. So thank you, Kerri.
Thanks, Kelsey.